Well, Nomvuyo, we have the rand trading around 7.31 at the moment. It went to 7.33 just a short while ago. So we've seen some significant weakness come in over the past day or so. But given what's played out internationally and the movements we saw on international markets, are you surprised?
No, Stephen. I mean, when it rains, it pours. It all started when the Federal Reserve announced that they were going to commence with another round of quantitative easing, and following very quickly on that news came news that the BOE has downgraded its growth forecast for the UK, and then that also was followed by news that China's industrial production has slowed to the lowest level in about 11 months. So, I mean, it's just a round of bad news that just came wave after wave. So we're not surprised that the rand has reacted like this.
Well, are you perhaps surprised that the rand didn't weaken more? Because we did see the dollar have its strongest gain in 2 years yesterday, significantly against the euro, and yet the rand looking pretty stable against the crosses at this stage.
Yes, Stephen. I mean, we did have manufacturing data come out much better than expected yesterday. So that may have lent some support to the rand. But you're right, it could definitely have reacted much more sharply to this negative turn in global sentiment.
Well, let's look at that manufacturing data. We had an 8.8% year-on-year rise in manufacturing for June. And of course, the market was looking for a significantly lower figure, and that came from 8.1% the month before. Now, the PMI numbers for June and then again for July looked pretty weak. In fact, June down at around 48, so showing that the manufacturing sector was contracting. Why do you think our manufacturing sector then did better than expected in that month?
Well, Stephen, firstly, when it comes to the manufacturing production data, you have to remember that this is still coming off quite a low base established in 2009. So that was a major reason for the revision to May's production figures that we saw, as well as the better than expected June data. Also, it's important to remember that the PMI is mainly a sentiment indicator, and therefore, just may not tally exactly with the actual production figures in the month, because people are naturally looking forward.
Of course, today we're getting mining data out for both May and for June. Those May figures have been delayed. Any expectations in the market for those numbers?
So far, no, Stephen. I think the withholding of the May data has made people reluctant to speculate on what could potentially have happened in June as well. But so I guess we'll just have to wait and see when that data comes out at 11:30.
The rand currently around 7.31, 7.32. Would you expect further weakness for the currency from these levels?
Yes, Stephen. I mean, in addition to the negative turn in global sentiment, we also have some strike activity that's kicked off locally that's expected to hamper production and productivity going forward. So at the moment, it just looks like risks to the downside for the rand are mounting.